Hey, how's it going, Linda? This is Jack with Rocket Ship SEO. Here's the video analysis that I promised you earlier today. Let me go over a few things that I can find online that can help with your online presence right now. So the first thing I did was I pulled up your website on Ahrefs, which is a tool that lets me look at the back end of a website and kind of take a look at kind of what you're working on right now and what's working and what's not working. The first thing that I noticed right here is if you see right here my cursor, you'll see backlinks and referring domains. Backlinks and referring domains is basically the number of other websites that are pointing back to your website. So right now, it shows that you have a total of 37 referring domains, so 37 websites with 111 links back pointing back to your website. This is a very important metric that Google utilizes to determine which website should rank higher than others. In general, the more quality websites that are pointing to your website, the more credit you're going to get for your website, and the higher you're going to rank for a lot more terms. 37 referring domains on 111 backlinks is not a lot of links going back to your website, especially if you're trying to rank for national keywords and not even just local. We definitely want to make sure that we're pointing a lot more backlinks and things like that back to your website, so then you can start ranking a lot higher in a lot of the SERPs for a lot of the keywords you're going for. So right here, this is your organic keywords. That basically means how many keywords that you actually are ranking for in Google, not necessarily on the first page, but that Google's giving you credit for a certain phrase. And this organic traffic basically means how many people are actually finding your website online organically. So not through paid advertising, because I know you've been doing that, just purely through organic search. So this actually tends to be a little bit less than what it actually is, but you can get a rough gauge of kind of how many people are organically visiting your website. The last thing that I can see right here is your traffic value. Basically means if you were paying for it, how much this organic traffic would be worth. And it also shows me that it looks like you're spending about $1,000 per month on paid advertising for this website. So right off the bat, I mean, if you're spending $1,000 for paid advertising, you definitely should be getting a lot of traffic towards your way and targeted traffic. Hopefully, the person that's doing the paid advertising for you knows what they're doing and have the correct ad campaign set up that are targeting the specific people that are actually looking for to launch their product and are serious about bidding for something like that. Right, so the next thing I kind of want to show you is this right here. This is a tool called Keyword Explorer. It allows us to kind of see what kind of searches, what kind of phrases that people are searching per month on Google for a given keyword, right? So here you can see right here, product launch formula. There's about 1,400 people searching per month for that phrase. Now, I did a little bit of homework before this, and I know that product launch formula is actually a book that someone wrote and kind of like his own course and his own little like ClickFunnels kind of thing that he set up. But what's actually really nice is the keyword difficulty of 12 isn't too bad considering the amount of volume that there is. What we can do is we can actually start doing our SEO work and start ranking you organically for this phrase product launch formula. And so you might not necessarily take the top very #1 spot, but by taking maybe the 2, 3, 4th spot, you start getting a lot of people just coming your way. And there's nothing wrong with you as a competitor showing up when another person searches up for another company, right? Just like if you go to the mall, you're looking for Nike shoes, and then you find another pair of shoes like Pumas that are a lot nicer, then you'll just end up purchasing the Pumas, right? So that's the kind of philosophy that you could do with these kinds of things, right? You can actually take some of these these phrases that people are searching for one of your competitors and actually rank for that. Another thing is like product launch. So there's some of these longer tail phrases right here that don't really have a lot of keyword difficulty that we can definitely help you rank for a lot higher, a lot faster than if we were to go for main keywords like this one right here, 35 keyword difficulty with just the phrase product launch, right? So just by optimizing some of your pages for something like product launch planning, keyword difficulty of 5, it's a lot easier to rank. It's a lot faster for you to rank for this kind of phrase, and you're still getting about 400 volume traffic, right? And there's all kinds of different phrases like product launch plans, new product launch, how to launch a product that you can actually claim. I mean, these are a little bit harder, but you know, product launch checklist, that would be a great one. Which of the following would be not be? That sounds like a questionnaire thing that someone's asking. How to launch a new product. That's another great phrase. So what you want to do actually, and I'll head over to your website at this point, and what you want to do is basically you want to grab some of these phrases that you're seeing, and you want to make an actual inner page for these kinds of phrases. And this is kind of what I talked to you about the other day. So when we go into services, what you almost want to do is you want to have not just this one page right here under services. What you want to do is you want to have multiple services that are specifically targeting these kinds of phrases, right? So you would have under this service, you would have the phrase product launch planning, right? And then you would talk about what product launch planning looks like, blah, 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 and then write about 500 to 1,000 words of content so that you can really show Google that you want to rank for that phrase, because Google can actually read your article and figure out exactly what it's talking about based on like the keywords and relevant phrases like that. Their AI has come to that point. And then you're also showing the people that are actually visiting your website, hey, I'm an authoritative website. I can exactly explain what a product launch planning looks like and the steps that are involved with that. That way you're getting credit from Google and ranking higher for this phrase, specifically product launch planning, and you're also showing those people that actually visit your website from that phrase that you are a legitimate website that really knows what they're talking about, and you can really convert them into potential clients moving forward that way. So you definitely want to do that with each one of these phrases, right? And as I explained, we do have a content writer here, and she's very good at what she does. And we can definitely talk about the pricing of how much each like article would cost, each like one of these inner pages. But definitely this is something that she could do. Maybe you could just give a rough guideline about what you would want her to talk about, and then she can fill in the spaces in between there. So besides that, so the the two things that I talked about was first just having more backlinks, right? So more websites pointing back to your website. The second thing that I talked about was specifically going for these longer tail phrases. In our space, it's called longer tail keywords. So that you can start getting credit and you can rank a lot faster than going for a big keyword like product launch. And this is only for one subset of phrases, right? There's so many more other ways to talk about a product launch. I just excuse me, I haven't had a chance to actually take a look at all those other phrases, but it's very similar in that regard. So what we do, if you did decide to work with us, is we would come up with some of these longer tail phrases so that we can work that into your organic, so that we can work that in and make that rank faster as we start ranking for your main keywords with the much larger volume, right? And so that's the kind of thing that we could do definitely. And then the next thing was the content, right? So you want to make sure that you're showing Google that you deserve to be at the top of the spot, and content is king these days. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of content on there so that you can show Google that you are an authoritative website. Kind of expanding on this a little bit real quick, it's because Google, they're kind of the goal with their search algorithm, especially in the organic search, is to connect the correct website and the web page with a search query that a person is searching for that's the most relevant, right? So when someone's searching up how to be the best clown in the world, they want to make sure that the first website that they show the user is something that is really optimized for that phrase, right? So what it means to be the best clown, what it means to be the best clown in the world, what it takes to be the best clown, what is a clown, what kind of outfit do you need? So things like that, Google can actually read, and then they can say, hey, this content is great, right? Way better than these other people that are on this website. This person clearly knows what they're talking about. This is the kind of website that we want to rank at the top of Google when someone's searching up this kind of phrase. That's why it's so important especially when we're doing our SEO kind of work, that we show Google. We want to help Google see that your website is very important for these kinds of phrases, which is why content is so important and so pivotal to what we're doing. On top of that, you want to make sure that the content is optimized for the correct keywords, but you don't want to over-optimize, right? This was a big problem back in Panda and Penguin update, where people were just stuffing the keywords into their articles, and they were just like, out of a 500-word article, there'd be 15 phrases with the same keyword targeting that, and it worked really well, and Google realized that people were abusing that system. So what they did was they were penalizing people that were starting to use too much of a keyword, right? So this is the kind of thing that we do all day, and this is why we know this is what works, what doesn't work, what Google likes to see, what Google doesn't like to see. There's a lot of other things that I didn't talk about in this video, but I don't want to keep it short. That way you kind of see exactly what we could do, and maybe hit up on some of the main points that could help really boost your traffic by ranking you up in the organic search rankings. So I hope this helped, Linda. I'll send this email out to you, and I'll probably do like a follow-up call just to do that. But otherwise, you can always reach me at the number that I called you. It's 719-232-2377. So 719-232-2377. Or you can reach me at Mr. and Mrs. Leeds Jack@gmail.com. Mr. and Mrs. Leeds is actually the parent company to Rocket Ship SEO, and that's based out of Colorado Springs, and we focus on local clients here. So yeah, actually, you know what? Let me just leave that up there, and I'll wrap it up here. I appreciate you watching this video all the way through. If you did,